Coming up in round 35 of the Brasileirao, some massive twists in the championship, all here on our magazine show. Full pressure, Flamengo draw, leaders Internacional lose at home, and just 1 point separates the two. Misery at the Morumbi. Thiago Volpe messes up and complicates São Paulo's campaign. Relegation looming. Vasco are crushed by Fortaleza and sink into the drop zone. Can Luxemburgo save the Giants? 9 games, 31 goals, beautiful dribbles and loads of excitement. Grab your phone, tablet or TV, but do not miss our fantastic footage of round 35 of the Brasileirao. Bahia and Goiás met in a 6-pointer in the battle to avoid the drop. Soon after kick-off, referee Rafael Tracy checked out VAR and awarded Goiás a penalty after Gregory had handled. Fernandão belted the ball in. Anderson's touch was enough to send the ball onto the underside of the crossbar, but the number 99 reacted quickest to put Goiás in front in the Arena Fonte Nova. The joy, however, was short-lived. 7 minutes later, David Duarte failed to clear properly, and the ball fell to the deadly Gilberto, who showed no mercy when he put the teams level. A powerful strike from the number 9. Goiás was still the better side, and almost jumped in front after this beautiful ball from Shylon to Fernandão, but the strike was blocked by a great save from Anderson. Right before half-time, Gabriel Novaes received a good pass from Gilberto, sent David Duarte flying, and scored the second for the hosts. Goiás still had some fight in them, as they were desperate for the 3 points to keep their good form going to try to escape from the bottom 4. They made it 2-2 right after the break with this Vinicius header. Even with a man down, Bahia gave everything they had, and after a long ball from Anderson, Alisson capitalised on the mistake by the Goiás defence. Drama at 3-2, but there was more to come. Goiás went on an all-out attack and were rewarded for the determination with another goal. Fernandão was there at the far post to score his second of the night and earn his team a precious point. Exciting stuff, 3-3 at the end. Atlético Goianiense and Santos faced off in Goiânia, with both teams hoping to break into the Libertadores places. Santos lost out in the finals of the competition and now have to qualify through the league. But it was the hosts who struck first. On the 29th minute mark, Dudu was stopped by Arthur Gomes in the area and the ref awarded the penalty. Goalkeeper Gian used power and precision for his 4th goal of the campaign, and the team's top scorer celebrated in his own special way. In the second half, Santos improved and managed to equalise from the spot. Pará sent the ball in. Marcus Leonardo was in the mix, but the ball hit centre-back Eder. Penalty for Santos. Marcus Leonardo took the responsibility and didn't waste a chance. The second goal for the 17-year-old, as he made it 1 apiece. Late in the match, the away team almost went in front. Soteldo picked out Laércio, but Gian was determined to stop Santos in any way he could to make sure his side shared a point. The result left both sides in mid-table and now outsiders for the Libertadores spots. In round 35 of the Brasileirao, Flamengo took on Red Bull Bragantino with a chance to go back top of the table for at least a few days. The defending champions went on the attack, but were thwarted by Clayton, who blocked Gustavo Henrique's route to goal. Minutes later, the Flamengo centre-back was fouled in the area and the referee gave the penalty. Gabriel Barbosa fired home to give the Red and Blacks the lead in Bragança Paulista and put his side top. Bragantino came back quickly and Arturo produced a vicious header. Bruno Henrique slowly got into the game and could have made it 2-0 before the break, but again Clayton stood his ground well. In the second half, Flamengo remained on the front foot with Bruno Henrique and Everton Ribeiro, but they failed to find a way through, and those missed chances would come back to haunt Fla. Isla had suffered a head injury, and this may have caused him to make the mistake that led to the equaliser. The right back failed to spot Elinho. He crossed for Italo, who struck the ball home. A real mess up at the back. One apiece, strong words were exchanged in the Flamengo defence. The away side pushed forward. Arrascaeta and Bruno Henrique tried, but again found Clayton in the way. The last chance fell to substitutes Mateuzinho and Pedro, who combined to test Clayton, but yet again the keeper was not to be beaten. 1-1 in Bragança Paulista as Flamengo threw away the chance to go top of the table. These two teams walked out onto the pitch in a very different frame of mind. Botafogo had already been relegated, Grêmio had their eyes on a place in the Libertadores but hadn't won in the last 7 outings. The home side started well. Rafael Navarro had a chance blocked by Paulo Miranda. The ball dropped to Caio Alexandre, who hit a shot off target. Botafogo with the first opportunity on goal. The home side remained on the attack. Zé Wellison tried a shot from outside the area and came close, but keeper Paulo Victor watched it all the way. But with just 6 minutes gone, Botafogo was stopped in their tracks. In a great move, Pepe linked up with Jean-Pierre. Alisson was left in front of goal and he didn't waste a chance. 1-0 to Grêmio, a rapid move from the Porto Alegre club to put them ahead. Renato Gaucho's side were then 2 up after a free kick from Jean-Pierre. The ball beat the wall and then keeper Diego Loureiro. A wonderful strike from the number 10. Grêmio were on a roll. Cortez broke down the left. Jean-Pierre made contact and forced a great stop from the goalkeeper. A good chance and a good stop. From the corner, Alisson almost scored a third when he came close to finding a target. Botafogo tried to go on the counter-attack. Zé Wellison broke free. He saw Rafael Navarro in space, but the forward failed to beat the defence and the chance went begging. Grêmio was soon moving forward again. Romero caught Pepe. VAR confirmed the penalty and Turin struck home to make it 3-0. The Lone Star club finally got their act together. Rafael Navarro used his pace to beat the back line and then Paulo Victor. A well-taken goal and Botafogo had a lifeline. The hosts pressed and created another opportunity with Navarro from outside the area, but Paulo Victor was equal to it. Botafogo smelt blood and continued to pepper the Grêmio goal from long range. 16-year-old Matheus Nascimento tried his luck and came very close to finding the net. After soaking up the pressure, Izaki combined with Pepe. He found Matheus, who hit a powerful shot past Diego Loureiro. A brilliant strike from the midfielder in the Nilton Santos. 4-1. The Botafogo heads refused to drop. Matheus Babi touched it onto Caio Alexandre. His effort called Paulo Victor into action and he made a very good save. Matheus Henrique then added the icing on the cake. He got the ball after a smart pass from Izaki before smashing it into the net. The midfielder's second of the night and 5-1 in Rio de Janeiro as Botafogo took a thrashing. The final goal came from the black and whites. Kevin sent in the cross, Paulo Miranda was involved and Matheus Babi supplied the finish. 5-2 and a goal fest in the Nilton Santos. A fantastic result for Grêmio, who kept alive their hopes of making the Libertadores places. For Botafogo, it was another lesson in how big the gulf is between them and the top sides. But yet another spell in Serie B will give them a chance for a much-needed rebuild. Internacional and Sport went head-to-head in a massive game for both sides in the Estadio Beira-Rio. The Reds could have gone 4 clear up the top. Sport were fighting for their first division survival. The first chance fell to Inter. Wendell knocked the ball down and Kai Vidal caused problems for the away defence. But the balance of the tie turned completely on the 25th minute mark. Marquinhos broke free and was eventually stopped by Wendell, who had no choice but to pull the Sportman back. Out came the red, and Inter were down to 10. From then on, Sport took control. On the 37th minute mark, Marquinhos made a clever pass, and Marcao raced forward to beat Marcelo Lomba. 1-0 to Sport, and a good strike. Inter though showed their class when they came straight back with Patricky. The sides levelled just before the break with a well-taken shot. But Inter's joy was short-lived. Deep into stoppage time, D'Alberto took full advantage of the mistake by Inter's defence to power a shot home. Sport up 2-1 and in heaven. In the second half, Inter tried to fight back, and Kai Vidal came very close when his effort scraped the post. The leaders, however, struggled up front, and it was Sport who looked the most likely. Thiago Neves made a great turn and then hit the bar, but once again missed the target. Inter tried, but it wasn't their night. Yuri Alberto had the last chance, but it just wasn't to be. A rare loss at home for the leaders, whose destiny remains in their hands, but this defeat was a real blow. A crucial 3 points to Sport, who edged closer to safety. In the Arena Castelao, Fortaleza took on Vasco da Gama, with both sides hoping to pick up points in the battle to avoid a drop to Serie B. The away team looked lively early on and dominated the game. Benitez found Carlinhos. He let fly with a rocket, but the woodwork came to the rescue of Felipe Alves. David G made a brilliant move through the Vasco defence. Igor Torres then scored his first goal as a pro. 1-0 to the hosts after a very good goal. At the end of the first half, Fortaleza made it 2-0. Luis Enrique out David G, who then beat Fernando Miguel. The keeper outdone, and the Lions were in control. Fortaleza wanted more after the break. Osvaldo caused problems on the left, and Romarinho did the rest to make it 3-0. Vasco tried to make a fight of it. Cano found the net, but Enrique was spotted committing a foul right at the start of the move, and the goal was ruled out. At the end, the hosts almost made it 4-0 with Wellington Paulista after he connected with Chinga's cross. Final score though, 3-0. A huge step for Fortaleza, but a real blow to Vasco's hopes of staying in the top flight. São Paulo and Ceará were in poor form when they locked horns in the Morumbi. The Tricolor hadn't won in 2021 and were playing their first match after firing Fernando Diniz. Caretaker coach Marcos Visoli was in charge. São Paulo went on the offensive and created chances in the first 10 minutes when they tested former Tricolor player Hitchard. The hosts continued to probe, and Pablo had a strong shot turned away by the keeper. São Paulo did find a way through with Cheche, but VAR stepped in and ruled the move out for offside. Ceará had just one chance in the first half, but Kleber's effort was weak. In the second period, Daniel Alves and Marcos Visoli tried to come up with a plan, but whatever they said didn't work out, and there were few chances for the hosts. The game only came to life near the end. Volpe made a mistake, and Leo Chu was there. São Paulo left it very late, but managed to equalise. With 95 minutes on the clock, Luciano appeared, and the deflection took the ball away from Hitchard. São Paulo once again failed to win in 2021, and their crisis continues. Ceará left the pitch after throwing away a late goal and had to settle for a point. In the duel at the top of the table, Fluminense faced Atlético Mineiro in the Maracanã. Brazil coach Chichi was there to watch proceedings and evaluate the young talent on show. Even though they dominated possession, Galo couldn't create in front of goal. Fluminense also struggled in attack. After the break, Atletico had an opportunity. Savarino crossed and Sasha made contact but failed to test Marcus Felipe. Galo again pressed. Mahoney got the ball from the left and found Savarino, but the number 70 couldn't convert. The game came to life in stoppage time. On 91 minutes, Gallo had their first chance on target. Guilherme Arana had a shot from a long way out, but Marcus Felipe made a great stop. Fluminense's opportunity came moments later. Fernando Pacheco got the ball in the area, but Everson was there to make the save. Michel Araújo then hit a rocket, but once again, Everson was equal to it. Maybe the pressure got to the two teams who produced the round's only goalless game. Flu stayed in Libertadores contention, but it was the end of the road for Gallo's title hopes. Corinthians and Atlético Paranaense were involved in a key game for a place in the Libertadores. The match got off to an exciting start. Gustavo Silva produced a piece of magic and the Musketeers were in front. 1-0, a terrific finish from the player. Soon after, Canisin and Abner moved forward and the left back hit a rocket past Casio. A fantastic hit to put the sides level in Sao Paulo. The third goal came 20 minutes in. Gil got on the end of a corner and Gabriel headed home to restore the lead. Gustavo Silva then had a chance to increase the score, but Santos made the stop. The miss proved costly. After Corinthians failed to clear the lines, the ball fell to Fernando Canisin, who put away the chance with ease. 2-2 in the arena. In the second half, the Hurricanes started better and had chances when Renato Kaiser and Vitinho pushed forward, but the ball stayed out. Corinthians came back. Auros found Gustavo Silva and the number 19 produced his second finish of the night and his third in the league. The Hurricanes had another opportunity. Vitinho broke free and his effort went into the back of the net for a goal for the side from Paraná. Final score 3-3 in the Neoquímica Arena. It's time to see who was January's Player of the Month. This time the choice was easy, as Red Bull's Claudinho took the award. The midfielder played 6 times, scored 5 goals and made 4 assists. Claudinho also moved on to 17 goals to make him the league's top scorer. What a performance from Claudinho, who's helped his side move towards a spot in next season's Libertadores. Jean-Pierre showed his brilliance against Botafogo from its set piece. Fantastic start from the number 10, born in the country of the 5 times World Cup champions. Our second choice is also from the Botafogo Grêmio game. Renato Gaúcho's team had an inspired night. Matheus Henrique started the move and linked up with Izaki. The ball came back after a great touch, and Matheus Henrique powered it into the net. What a sweet move from the Grêmio men as the number 7 comes in at number 2 in our top goals. At 1, we've gone for this. From the venue that opened the 2014 World Cup, the Neoquímica Arena was the stage for this fine finish from Gustavo Silva. Cantillo started it, Wagner got a header, and the Corinthians forward lifted the ball over the defender before volleying home in real style. A brilliant strike from the youngster against Atlético Paranaense. The 23-year-old is now famed for his goals, but the fans also think he looks a little like Hollywood star Nicolas Cage. You can decide that one. Whatever you think, there's no doubting the brilliance of the goal. Pure gold from Silva. The best save of round 35 happened at the Nilton Santos in the face-off between Botafogo and Grêmio. Despite Grêmio's crushing victory, their keeper, Paulo Victor, also stood out by making a beautiful save in the second half. After Mateus Babi's cross, midfielder Alexandre finished at close range and the Grêmio keeper pulled off an amazing save to keep Botafogo out. A spectacular reflex stop to guarantee Paulo Victor round 35's best save trophy. He has a top player's name and his abilities are reminiscent of one of the country's greats. Romarinho, or Little Romario, got the ball from Wellington Paulista and then showed his terrific skills to put the pass through the legs of centre-back Marcelo Alves. An amazing touch that left the defender flummoxed. Romarinho even went for glory, but couldn't quite finish. Even so, it was a fantastic move from the Fortaleza man and well worth the dribble of the round. Congratulations, Romarinho. Let's take a look at the players and coach who impressed us in round 35. In goal, we've gone for Clayton of Red Bull Bragantino. At right back is Adelan, also of Red Bull. The centre-backs are Iago Maidana of Sport and Paulão of Fortaleza. Left back, Abner from Atlético Paranaense. The three midfielders, Matheus Henrique of Grêmio, Antijo, Corinthians, and Jean-Pierre of Grêmio. Up front, David G, Fortaleza, Fernandão of Goiás, and Gustavo Silva of Corinthians. Our man on the bench is Jair Ventura from Sport Recife. Corinthians winger Gustavo Silva takes the crown as the best player in week 35. He bagged a brace in Chimao's tough draw against Atlético Paranaense. His first of the night was a beauty. A flick over the defender and a half volley to follow. For his second, he showed strength to beat the defender shoulder to shoulder and finished well. 2 goals and a great performance at the Neoquímica Arena. Corinthians failed to get all 3 points, but Gustavo Silva earned the honour of the man of the round. This is how a table looks after 35 games. Internacional still top, but just 1 point separates them and Flamengo. Atlético Mineiro are in 3rd, São Paulo 4th, and Fluminense and Grêmio make up the rest of the Libertadores places. At the wrong end, there's still lots to play for, but Sport, Fortaleza, Bahia could be in trouble. Vasco, Goiás, Curitiba and Botafogo are in the relegation slots. Thiago Nunes had a frustrating period at Corinthians in 2020, but his name has appeared as a possible substitute for Cuca at Santos. However, he's not the only coach who's been connected with the Vila Belmiro team. Goalkeeper Gian, who's owned by São Paulo, might be leaving the Dragons at the end of the Brasileirao, possibly for Europe. Atlético Goianiense have acted quickly and brought in Cesar on loan from Flamengo. The player is expected to arrive in March. Forward, Tyson, who spent 10 years in Ukraine, posted a message this week indicating that he's on his way out of Shakhtar Donetsk. It's believed that the player, who was called up for the Brazil squad for the 2018 World Cup, might be heading back to Internacional, the club where he started his career. The 36th round of the Brasileirao promises to be one of the most exciting of the calendar, as there are only 3 matches to go. The games begin on Saturday as relegation-threatened Goiás take on a Botafogo side who are already preparing for life in the 2nd division. Also on Saturday, a Santos team still suffering with a defeat in the Libertadores face strugglers Curitiba. Atlético Mineiro have not won the National League since 1971, but they still believe anything is possible if they can beat lowly Bahia. Sunday starts with title hopefuls Flamengo and their battle against Corinthians, who are pushing to make the Libertadores places. Vasco are battling to avoid the drop, and they take on leaders Internacional. Palmeiras and Fortaleza cross swords in an important game for the side from the northeast. Atléticos, Paranaense and Goianiense meet in Paraná, and Grêmio lock horns to São Paulo in a fight for Libertadores qualification. On Monday are the games between Ceará and Fluminense, plus Sport and Red Bull Bragantino. That's it from the 35th round of the Brasileirao. We'll be back soon with more thrilling games and decisive matches in the run-in to the end of the competition. So, see you then.